President Trump says he has a plan of action to deal with the economic fallout of the coronavirus, and it comes amid staggering losses on Wall Street. KCO 9 political reporter Randy Page joins us with that very latest.
Hi, Randy.
Crazy day today. We have two big headlines, a huge drop in the stock market, and 4 communities have been identified where the coronavirus is spreading. The whir of camera shutters and iPhones up and set to record marked the arrival of President Trump to the White House press room this afternoon.
Thank you very much.
The president said he will be meeting with Senate Republicans tomorrow to discuss a possible payroll tax cut, loans for small businesses, and help for industries most affected by the impact from the coronavirus, including airlines and cruise ship companies.
We're also going to be talking about hourly wage earners getting help so that they can be in a position where they're not going to ever miss a paycheck.
CDC Director Robert Redfield said more than 500 cases of coronavirus have now been identified in 35 states and the District of Columbia. And here's another ominous development.
We do have several community outbreaks, which we're focusing on in the Seattle area, in the Santa Clara, California area, in Westminster, in New York, and in Florida. And these are areas that we're investigating heavily to try to understand the transmission mechanisms there and begin to help these jurisdictions begin to operationalize a series of mitigation strategies to help, again, to slow and contain the outbreak.
Mitigation strategies like avoiding shaking hands, which the president doesn't appear to be adhering to. There's particular concern about this handshake. Representative Doug Collins was seen shaking the president's hand during a close face-to-face conversation after the Georgia congressman had been in contact with a person at a political convention who tested positive for the coronavirus. And he's not the only one. Texas Senator Ted Cruz, Arizona Congressman Paul Gosar, and Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz also came in contact with the infected person, and all 4 lawmakers are now in self-quarantine, including Gaetz, but not before he joined President Trump on Air Force One. And tonight, the incoming White House Chief of Staff, Mark Meadows, is in quarantine after he came in contact with the same infected person at the Conservative Political Action Committee conference late last month. Today, Surgeon General Jerome Adams laid out who was at most risk, which appears to include Mark Meadows, who was 60 years old.
Who is at risk, and I hope you will help us communicate this to the American people, are people over the age of 60. They're much more likely to develop complications from the coronavirus and to be hospitalized from the coronavirus. The average age of death is age 80.
President Trump is 73.
Has the president been tested? He's been in contact with people who were in proximity to somebody who had the virus.
Let me be sure and get you an answer to that. I honestly don't know the answer to the question.
Late tonight, we got the answer. The president has not been tested. Coronavirus wasn't the only headline. A 1-2 punch sent the markets into meltdown today when fears of the global impact of the coronavirus combined with a price war between Saudi Arabia and Russia that sent oil prices plummeting. The Dow Jones sank nearly 8%.
I think people are scared. They're looking at their 401ks, that obviously are a little less than they were a couple of weeks ago. It's clearly markets in turmoil. It's hard to know what to say.
It's like nothing we've seen in over a decade. We've seen other financial crises in our lifetime. After 9/11, 2008, similar. It's a crisis right now.
Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin says it's only a temporary setback.
The economy will be in very good shape a year from now. This is not like the financial crisis where we don't know the end in sight. This is about providing proper tools and liquidity to get through the next few months.
Now, as far as testing is concerned, the White House says more than 2 million coronavirus test kits are on their way to public health departments across the country. And as of today, 2 private commercial labs are up and running. So doctors and private hospitals can start getting tests done as well.
All right, good to know, Randy. Thank you.